Hi everyone, welcome back for another episode of Adams for the Love of Movie Picks. Sorry about last weekend there, folks. I was very busy that weekend. Plus, I'm sure most of you were probably busy watching the Super Bowl anyways, wouldn't be able to enjoy this video. So here we are, we're back this week. And this week we're going to be talking about the 2004 film Miracle, starring Kurt Russell. This movie also stars Patricia Clarkson. Kurt Russell is Herb Brooks. Patricia Clarkson as Patty Brooks. Noah Emmerich as Craig Patrick. Sean McCann as Walter Bush. Kenneth Welch as Doc. And Eddie Cahill as Jim Craig. The rest of them, I'm pretty sure you don't recognize the names. Not necessarily the names of the actors playing them, but I mean, certainly the characters they play, you would know. So more or less, Miracle is about the true story about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team and their win over the Soviets in the Olympics at Lake Placid. But moreover, it's about how they got there. It's widely regarded as one of the greatest, not only hockey moments in hockey history, but in general sports history as well. Just because of just everything that led up to that game, that moment, and not only the meaning of it as a hockey game, but as a meaning to a nation in need. And it's really cool. It gives you this behind the scenes look of everything that went into this team. I think that Kurt Russell was a brilliant choice as Herb Brooks. I think he portrayed him very well. Conveyed Brooks's, not his twofold meaning behind why he wanted to coach this team. So his main motive was, as a hockey player in 1960, was selected to the U.S. Olympic hockey team, but the week before the games were about to start, he got cut. And, week later, he's watching his team win the gold medal. The last gold medal to be won by a non-Soviet team until the 1980 Olympics. His other reason behind it is he's sick and tired of seeing the Soviets dominate every aspect of hockey, on a world stage. And he's like, enough is enough. We're gonna take these. I'm gonna take these. Well, it starts out with 26 college kids, fresh-faced college kids, as individuals, and makes them a team. Eventually, it gets down to 20 by the time the game starts, or by the time the Olympic Games start, I should say. It gets it down to 20, and it's just remarkable what he was able to do with these kids. Basically, it started in, I think it was June of 1979 when Herb Brooks was selected to coach this team. Pretty much immediately after, he got all the best amateur players in the country together, and but he already had his team basically in mind as of day one of the training camp. And from that moment on, whittling them down to the 20 players he would need, and training them on all levels of being the team that he needed to beat the Soviets. So he basically was working on their conditioning, their team chemistry, and he was taking a hybrid of the Soviet school of hockey and the Canadian school of hockey and blending it together into a team that would be able to defeat the Soviets. Because basically, ever since 1960, they dominated hockey. And it added up to one of the most emotional and heartfelt moments in, like I said, not only hockey history, but sports history. And part of the reason also why it was so meaningful was, like I said, not just as a hockey game, but at the time that the turmoil that country was going through, there was the gas shortage, there was, the crisis in Iran with the embassy being taken over. I think at that point, Russia had invaded Afghanistan. There was a lot of political and world turmoil going on, and the America as a country was just not feeling good about itself. And this game gave them something to cheer and unite together over, and it was just an amazing moment. There were parts of there's some funny parts of this movie too. It's I shouldn't just be going on about the truthfulness. I should be mentioning about the movie as well, how well it was done and put together. I think all the actors they choose, even the unknown actors, to play these actual hockey players. was brilliantly done. Like I said, the use of Herb Brooks was great. The use of the Noah Emmerich, the guy that plays the assistant coach Craig Patrick, was well done. And Patricia Clarkson, who ends up playing Patty, Herb Brooks' wife, she was brilliant as well. And there's lots of they focus in on a lot of key moments in the movie, and there were key moments, true key moments in really melding and forming this team. Like case in point, one example is in an exhibition game a couple months before the opening ceremony. They played the Norwegian national team in Norway, and they come to a 3-3 draw with them, which is they didn't get their ass kicked, but like basically that pissed Herb Brooks off. He's like, okay, you guys don't want to work during the game. We're gonna work after the game, and they did something called Herbies, which is like close red line black or blue line back, red line black, far blue line, far red line, and they did this like they lost count of how many they did, and it finally got the message across that you're playing for the United States of America, not for whoever's name is on the back of the jersey, and it was a real learning and bonding experience for the team. Another one is shortly, like 3 days before Lake Placid, in another exhibition game, they end up playing the Soviet Union and getting destroyed. But I think what was key for them was it let them know that they still got a little bit more work to do before they're ready to defeat the Soviets. So if you've never seen Miracle, it's a great movie. Like I said, I wish I was alive to see the moment itself when it happened, but just being able to even see replays of it all these years later is still pretty cool. So if you've never seen Miracle and you're a fan of hockey, even if you're not a fan of hockey, if you just like a great movie with a great story, family film too, check out Miracle because you will not be disappointed. All right, folks. So there we are for this episode. Hope you have a great night. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week.